Hola amigos, hello wine lovers, my name is Blake. I am a sommelier from the United States of America, but right now I'm next to my pool in Monte, Ecuador with a bottle of wine. Today I've got Indomita Pinot Noir Gran Reserva Casablanca Valley, Chile. By popular demand, I'm reviewing this wine because this is Gringo Wine Guy. Gringo Wine Guy here with another review of South American wine. As I mentioned before, today we have Indomita Pinot Noir Gran Reserva, Casablanca Valley, Chile. This is 2020 vintage. Full disclosure, I have not had this wine before. I've never had anything from this winery. This is my first time seeing this product here in Ecuador. So hopefully this will be something you have never seen before and we'll learn something together. This wine is 14% alcohol by volume. Because of that, I do expect this to taste a bit more like a California Pinot Noir because of that slightly higher alcohol content. And those of you watching this video who know me personally, you know that I fell in love with wine by way of Burgundy, France, where Pinot Noir is king. There's a lot of areas in the world that grow Pinot Noir. Obviously, California is a very successful place. You can find it in Italy. You can find it in Germany. Now we see you can find it in Chile. You can also find it in Argentina. I only hope that I like this wine as much as the wines of Burgundy, France. It was suggested to me that I give these wines a numerical score. Now, I'm no professional. I'm no Robert Parker, but I can certainly evaluate the wine and give it a score as I see fit. Whenever I taste wine, judge wine, review wine, I always like to look at three basic things: the color and clarity, the aroma, and then of course the palate impression. What does it taste like? You know, how good is it? So I will speak to those three characteristics. Obviously the color, as I mentioned before, is rather pale, but it's exactly what you expect from Pinot Noir. It's nothing outstanding. Occasionally you can get a Pinot Noir when you just look at it, it's spectacular and like, that's what Pinot Noir should look like, in which case you would score that a perfect 10 out of 10. This is certainly where it should be for a wine of this age and of this variety, so we'll call this 8, maybe 8.5 points out of 10. And again, the aromatics are so good, so fresh. Nothing is really hidden there. I don't smell oak so much on this wine. I don't know if this has a very heavy oak regimen, but again, man, the red fruits are just bursting through the glass. And I think that's something very important with Pinot Noir, that freshness and that bright fruit character. Again, as I mentioned before, Bing cherry, maybe a little cranberry, some candied fruit, again, following the notes of California Pinot Noir. The aromatics are just as good as the color and clarity of this wine, so we'll give this another 8.5 out of 10. We're on track to having a very enjoyable wine here. Let's taste it. So this bottle's been open for about 30 minutes now. The aromatics are even stronger and just more beautiful now than when I first put my nose in this glass, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it and let's see what we think. Well, as odd as this sounds, it tastes a bit more Burgundian than it does like something from California. This might even pass for an Oregon Pinot Noir. Pinot Noirs in Oregon lay on the same parallel, well, not the Pinot Noirs, but the wine country in Oregon lays on the same parallel as Burgundy, France, which is why Chardonnay and particularly Pinot Noir are so successful in Oregon, particularly Willamette Valley, as they are in Burgundy, France. This wine tastes a bit more like Oregon or Burgundy than it does from California. I'm a little bit shocked by that. So it's not very heavy on the palate. Again, it's a young wine, it's 2020. The flavors on the palate mimic the aromatics. It's pretty dry with almost sour cherry, but that's the acidity coming through on the wine behind that bright red fruit. It's quite delicious. I do enjoy this. I think this is a candidate for some food. This wine would be super enjoyable with any number of foods. Let's talk about that for a little bit. So the first thing that comes to mind would be salted or cured meats. Prosciutto ham would be great with this. Serrano ham, any of the Spanish hams would be terrific. This is also a good candidate for the local fare here. And again, I'm in Manta, Ecuador, which is the tuna capital of the world. There's so much tuna fished out of the Pacific Ocean here in Manta, it'll just blow your mind. And who wouldn't love Pinot Noir with tuna? Now the tuna here is not perhaps as big as the ones you'll see in America, well, at least in North America, around the United States, but it's just as delicious. Pinot Noir and tuna, great combination. This is also a wine that I could enjoy with pork. Pork is obviously very popular, not only in this part of the country, but all over Ecuador, where it is known as cerdo. If you're shopping at the grocery store and you can see that you've got Pinot Noir and you want to find some pork, just look for the cerdo. Grilled pork chops, chuletas would be a terrific choice. If you can find lamb, that would be excellent. I don't see it too many places around here, but lamb and Pinot Noir to me is a great match, no matter where you are. Another great choice would be lomo fino or beef tenderloin. Another knockout combination, Pinot Noir, beef tenderloin. There's another steak here, which is known bife de chorizo. It's an Argentine cut, a bit like a strip steak. It has just a small amount of fat on the outside, almost like a strip steak where they left the fat on intentionally. Bife de chorizo, great choice to go with. Indomita Pinot Noir, 2020, Casablanca Valley. All right, well, there's some food ideas to enjoy with this wine. I guess it's time to score the wine on the palate. Again, I really like the color and the aromatics. It's a beautiful wine. Tastes like Pinot Noir. Tastes like Pinot Noir from Burgundy, France. And because of that, I'm going to give it perhaps a higher score than I would otherwise. Another 8.5 out of 10 for sure. I like this wine. It was $11.99 at the grocery store. That being said, maybe it deserves to have a higher score across the board, so we'll call it 27 out of 30. A solid B plus in my opinion. Indomita Pinot Noir Gran Reserva, Casablanca Valley, Chile, 2020. This is Gringo Wine Guy. Thank you.